Oh man, this is just all such great, like, awesome stuff. And before you came on, you started to speak about your time with Whoopi Goldberg on The View. We didn't.
Welcome to The View. Welcome to The View.
He went on. He was on The View. This man was on The View.
I'm so tired of damn people asking me when I'm coming back to The View.
Mm.
I'm like, I'm not Whoopi Goldberg. Y'all got the wrong one.
So people want you to go back to The View.
No,
you must have did a great job on there.
Well, that was so long ago, and
consecutive episodes or one time?
One time. Oh. That was an accident.
An accident?
Well, I asked.
Oh, once again, yo, you and this asking, man, you like that's your gift.
We're already in emails. Hell,
to ask.
Yeah.
I was, about to go there for the ABC station in New Orleans and do a story on these TV shows that we were there also on my podcast of this episode. But we did the stories on The Chew, The View, and a couple and another thing. And way beforehand, I was like, can I be on The View? Giggity. Can I talk about New Orleans or something? You got to give them a peg. Make it cute. Make it in their favor.
Okay.
But it's like there's no way. Well, I get there, long story short, and at first it was going to be, they were going to let me. They were going to ask me questions about New Orleans and Mardi Gras, but they were going to have me sit on the front row and do it. So they sat me down the front row, and then Brian Tetta, the producer, executive Emmy-winning producer, who's still my friend, by the way, he also produced the David Letterman show, and he's the executive producer of The View. And he was like, they're going to bring you up on set now because I think one of the hosts got sick or something. And so they wanted to bring me up, and it just happened like that. Put a microphone on me and everything, and it happened. It's on YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, you're just destined to be in entertainment. I mean, I
think so, because I wasn't nervous at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
I felt like I was you don't understand what it's like to have a dream. And in my podcast, I talk about The View and sitting in Biloxi, Mississippi, dreaming one day I would be on that particular show. There's a reason why I love that show, because my parents would watch it, or my aunt would watch it. And so I was addicted to that show. And I said, one day I'm going to be on that show. You don't know what it's like to sit in your dream.
Oh, man. Just rest in it. Just rest in it.
Also biblical. He'll show you the land of milk and honey, but he'll take that right away from you and say, hey, I let you see it. Now you got to work for it. You got to get there, and all the hell that comes with that afterwards. But it's worth it, though.
Mm-hmm. Good morning, beautiful people. I love that.
I've seen it, and I want to get I have no choice but to go there. It's like that.
Give you a little taste.
Yeah, land of the milk and honey is what they.
Yeah. Yep.
So I saw it. So I've been chasing after it ever since. Even harder.
Wow. That's beautiful, man. Like, I'm like amazed. Like, what do you think about this, Monica? Like, I'm just so glad that you came back, man. Because that first episode that we didn't get to focus like this. And we were talking about it earlier, how everything happens for a reason. Mm-hmm. And like, this is the time. This is the alignment. Yeah. It's like, yo, wow, bro. Like,
a lot has happened since then too. That has changed. So
for sure. Yeah. And it just gave you more powerful stories that you're bringing to people. And this is only a few with Jabari.
It's giving me more, as you become older, I think you become more of this attitude where you just don't give a damn.
Yeah.
And you just start talking and you just say things, within control, of course. But
you're growing,
Yeah.
It's growth.
Yeah. You're just tired of hiding things and you just start talking.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would say that when I became a Christian in the 90s, I read that scripture and I was like, what's so significant about milk and honey? Because he's like, I'll bring you to the land flowing with milk and honey. I was like, what's milk and honey? So then I was like, I did a little project.
Uh-oh.
Because I'm curious.
You put milk and honey together?
So I was like, let me see what this milk and honey is all about. So I put it in a cup, I pour my milk, and then I squeeze some honey in it. And what I saw was...
Go ahead.
This is interesting.
Come on.
The combination makes it bubble up and over.
Oh, overflows.
So when God says, I'm going to bring you to the land of milk and honey, it's not just milk and honey, but it's the land where you're overflowing and you have this bubbling up abundance. So I was like, that's
powerful.
Milk and honey land means.
I saw it though, right before he was pouring in the honey, and he said, all right, that's enough. He snatched me right off that damn set.
Oh, man.
Go work for it now. I've been to hell ever. Like, I've had a lot of blessings, no doubt, but there has been some hellish stuff that has happened.
Yes.
But I've grown from every last one of them. That's for sure. And it's getting me there.
Yeah.
But nothing's easy though.
No.
Like everything is a struggle, has obstacles, has, like setbacks, but it's only because our character gets built in those hard times. Like no one has good character from everything going easy and being smooth.
That's exactly
It's only in our struggles.
How will you know how strong you are if you've never lifted a weight,
Right.
How will you know your limits if you've never been pushed? How will you know how to respond to failure if you've never failed? Will you know how to overcome? They're just things that are thrown at us so many times that we can learn how to. We have to go through them to learn how to, because even with the A-list people that we know today, you think they're just up there with absolutely zero pressure whatsoever? There's some pressure, and that's why a lot of people don't make it and get into drugs, because they get put into that pressure too fast, and the pipe bursts basically. And I think there's just a lot that you have to learn to get to being the GOAT at whatever it is you want to do.
Wow, man, we think we're ready, but
He's like, you're not.
What were you saying about the potter and the clay as well? Didn't you spoke on that the other day as well, right?
Well, I know, we're on the potter's wheel, so he's spinning us, and it's like we think we're ready, and you're like, okay, I'm done being spun around. That was stressful. Yeah. And he's like, okay, no, now I got to go put you in the hot oven, and you got to go bake for at whatever temperature and then you're like, he's killing me. It's so hot in here, and then that's finally over, and then he sits you on a shelf to cool.
Yeah.
And then you're still not in the spotlight yet until someone actually takes that pot off the shelf to use it for something.
And there's some permanent cracks in that things too.
Wow.
Some scars.
You got to go through the refining process, and that you've been
stretching and some.
And just when you
drinking.
Think it's you've done it, there's more. You're like, oh my God.
There's always something, man. It's always something. If it ain't inflation, $15 damn eggs, it's something.
I know. $5 gallon gas.
Rent prices going up.
Always something. Hurricanes in Florida. Man, it's always something. Just when I was about to take a break, here comes Ian. Terrorizing everybody. I don't know about these hurricanes.
And how long have you been in Florida?
4 years. This is crazy.
Only 4 years.
This is crazy.
Yeah, so you're new here. All right.
Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
It could be anywhere. I hope hosting a game show.
That would be cool.
Speak that into existence.
Yeah. I'm having a little bit of a hard time kind of placing at where I'm going to be. I mean, I know where I want to go. I know the area. I think instead of being so narrow with my career, I think I've opened it up to where it's, where I would be happy. There are a couple of things that I would like to do that I think that would fall into happy. Now, wherever that leads, especially after Florida, will determine kind of, all right, well, where am I going to go like after that?
So what are they besides game show?
I wouldn't mind probably being on a morning show. Actually, I've enjoyed it so much here. And I think that I've been told that I've been so special on a morning show because of what I do and my personality. I think it works for me. So you always want to go towards something that works. I hate those hours though. That's got to change.
Are they 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning?
Oh no, I get up at 2:30 every morning.
Oh wow.
Monday through Friday.
But what time do you start
That's
working?
That's got to change.
What time do you work?
About 3:30. That's got to change. Like we can find a morning show that starts at like 7, right?
Right.
But there are a lot of people that watch that starts at 4:30 to 7 because there are a lot of people watching. People are getting ready for work, But
yeah, that's true.
I'm just not gonna be on that show.
Uh-oh.
They're gonna have to watch later or something. But
a late morning show.
Yeah.
Create one, right?
I did notice you're more in the studio though a lot now, opposed to when I first started watching you. You were always on the street.
We got new peoples. So they're kind of placing me places, trying to figure it out.
Gotcha. You're like, all right, man, this guy is.
But I'm a hybrid now. I think we got to figure it out.
A utility, like in football, we call it like a utility player. You can put this guy anywhere, and he's gonna make it happen. I
wish I had some utility football player money though.
True, right on. It's coming. Like it's got to be coming.
I have that NFL money. I can play linebacker, running back, safety, whatever you.
Right
coach,
on. Yeah.
Vice
I just need the funds. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah. Referee, I'll do it all.
Yeah. Do you see yourself playing in a big picture film? Is that still something that you want to pursue? Okay.
My goal is to try to get to LA eventually so I can do it all. So I can have it all.
Now, Is the film scene getting any better here in Florida? Because
hell no.
What I heard, because I used
getting better in Chicago, but not.
Yeah, well, it's because of the tax incentives, and this is not a priority for Florida. Florida has theme parks.
Yeah, yeah.
Louisiana has the tax breaks. Georgia has the biggest tax breaks. Tax breaks, basically, you bring a let's say a $20 million film here, we're going to give you $9 million of that back or something like that. If you spend at certain restaurants and schools and stuff, because the people bringing all this, great for the economy. It's huge for the economy. But Florida doesn't need. That's kind of like they don't need that.
They don't need it.
They don't need it, and so they just bring Hallmark movies.
Hallmark movies, yeah.
Yo, that's what Ashley Wooten was telling me. She's a director here. She had to move because she said there's no tax incentives for movies here. And she's like, so you're never going to get anywhere.
Right. You spend all this money on hotels and permits, but you don't get none of that back.
There's so much talent here. There's so much talent in Florida. You know, the art scene, the music scene. It's like, man,
they gotta go to Georgia.
If they could give us some tax incentives here.
But it's kind of like, how bad do you want it? How bad are you willing to get out of Florida? There are people in Utah, in Illinois, like in South Dakota that, I'm pretty sure have dreams that have moved. The people from Oklahoma, a lot of famous people come from Oklahoma and had to move. And so it's kind of like, how bad do you want it? It's really,
Right on. Question you got to ask yourself, right?
Yeah, I've outgrown Louisiana. I think I could have been bigger in Louisiana and made myself bigger, but that's it. That's all I would be known in Louisiana. But I want to reach the world.
Yes. Oh, look at that.
So that's a never-ending process.
Yes.
So that's gonna be. I got a lot of work to do.
Wow.
But right now, my goal is America. I want to reach America now. So it's a bigger responsibility, I think.
Wow. I feel you on that tip, man. That's powerful, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, reaching the world. I mean, that's a huge goal.
Yeah.
I was just about to ask you, like, what is your goal? And then you said that, and I'm like, oh, he wants to reach the world.
Which is possible, yeah. I mean, if I can be a Beyonce, that's great.
Speaking of, no, I'm just kidding.
Not really. That's too much fame.
Yeah.
Some of that money, though.
That's dangerous fame. I don't know how she handles it.
She handling inflation really well, though.
Well, she's got a billionaire husband, huh?
Them credit cards.
Yeah. There's a lot of talks in the headlines about that couple. Unfortunately, that's what happens though. Like when the bigger you are, the more people are going to talk, right?
Yeah. I've had a couple of articles come out.
Really?
Yeah.
So like in a good way or a bad way?
One of them was complaining about me. It's like this paparazzi for news, basically, and it's very popular amongst journalists for some reason who want to know drama nonsense.
Oh boy!
One of them was not negative towards me, but something that had happened to me. But one of them was about me being too shirtless, like a journalist being too shirtless. Like, what's Tegna doing down there? Like when I first got here, because I wear whatever I want on TV. That didn't go across well at first, especially being black with dreads. That kind of threw everybody off. They're like, whoa. But I think that people embrace me here for being who I am, and I see that and I feel that, and so that just makes me want to be a bigger me. What was I talking about before then? I kind of lost my train of thought. I was trying to get back, but I lost it.
I'm not quite sure, but
you were saying that there were some articles that came out about.
Yeah.
Okay, good call, Chris.
That one. Thank you. Taking notes.
I got you.
Was that a keyboard? That's not notes.
He just got a good brain.
Yeah.
He's got a healthy brain there.
Being shirtless too much on Instagram or some shit.
Oh yeah.
Whatever. I had more likes after that. It's all right.
A couple more follows.
Yeah. I was all right.
You're a pretty fit dude as well. Like.
Well, I mean, yeah, because if I like sweets.
Build.
As you're eating them right now.
I see my grandpa like.
You said you get up early.
Sugar.
You have like a morning workout routine that you do, or? No.
I used to get up at 1:30 and then go to the gym before going in.
Wow.
A lot of stuff happened after that. Lost my routine.
What do you do to stay in shape then?
The elliptical.
Oh, nice.
I've played sports my whole life too.
What sport? Or
football, basketball, track and field.
Okay.
Golf, ice hockey.
Right on.
Bowling.
Everything, huh?
Professional wrestling. Like the WWE kind. That's another phase that I completely skipped. Also on my podcast.
What? When did you do that?
WWE?
No, it was Mid-South Wrestling. I was trained by somebody who used to work in the WWE.
Wow.
Also in my podcast.
Jabari does everything.
When did you do
I'll
that?
tell you that, man. Like,
I was 14, 15 when I begged my parents to pay $3,000 to get me in this school.
And they did it.
After I begged them for like 2 years, I went to these short wrestling camps.
Asking. And once again, asking, persistence.
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't become a professional wrestler, but I think it led me to something else, though, which is my podcast.
You've been going hard for a long time, bro. Like, it's like
old man.
Well,
You said you're
you've
only
lived a lifetime in 34 years.
34.
34 years old. He's lived a lifetime. When do you turn 35?
Multiple lifetimes.
July.
Okay. All right. July what?
7/7.
7/7. Cool.
88.
Dang, that's a good number.
Easy one to remember too for everybody. So don't forget.
7/7/88.
7/7/88.
7 comes before 8.
I know.
Yeah.
Double it up.
Yo, he's like right there on completion and renewal.
Yeah.
Like 7 is the number of completion,
Yeah.
and then 8 is like new beginnings.
Yeah.
So that's why you're probably the way you are. Like you're always completing something and then starting something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been some shit I didn't complete though, and I just don't talk about Bruno.
We don't talk about Bruno.
You try some stuff and they just don't work out, and it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
The movies I
understand.
tried that didn't
The
work.
stripping.
Yeah.
Yeah, we keep going back to that. We want to hear
Will
that
not
story.
hear that
Hey,
story
but you landed in the strip club capital,
for a long
Tampa.
time. Yeah.
No, let's not
Oh my
do this
gosh.
anymore. We're not gonna go this route, man.
Off of Del Mabry,
It
that
is the
spaceship.
capital. I had no idea.
is.
It is, yeah.
I'm like, there's like 5 on this one block.
I should
Oh,
be
goodness
getting to
gracious.
work,
Mhm.
paying off these inflation eggs.
You're like,
We should-
we'll all have to stop eating eggs, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's
Sad. I'm
interesting.
gonna have to buy me a damn chicken.
Yep.
Yo,
Fine.
honestly though, if you
Might be
think about
cheaper.
it, like owning chickens and all that jazz is quite a task. You know, so
You got
it's
a
like-
yard. You got enough for
Yeah.
perch.
Yeah, we could build a coop
Oh,
out there and put some
coop.
chickens in there.
Speaking of, he has he showed me earlier this rabbit. You want to speak about it, Chris, real
Yeah,
quick?
it's a rabbit's nest, actually. We found, my dog
Nest.
found it in the backyard. Yeah, like a little spot in the yard. 3 little baby bunnies are huddled in there. Yeah.
I didn't know
he's
rabbits
trying
had
to-
nests.
Yeah.
I know. That
I
sounds
mean,
like
I know they
birds.
sell it for
Interesting.
Easter, but I thought that was
I mean, they're so tiny, bro.
Easter egg thing. I
That's
don't
a
know.
Jewish story, I think.
But yeah, I saw my dog digging out there the other day, and I was like, "What's going on? You know, what are you digging for?" And she was obviously like kind of like sniffing and startled by what was there. So I went to check it out. I thought maybe it's a snake or like a field mouse or something. But no, it was.
So you do the white thing and you go check it out.
Yeah, that's the
Well, I don't.
What
want,
is that over there? Let me go see what's rustling in the woods.
I don't want my dog to get hurt or
I
something.
hear you.
It
I
could
would
be
have
a
done the same
snake.
thing,
Yeah,
man.
it could have been. I thought it was a snake. to be honest.
Absolutely. Go
Good
get your
thing you
dog.
did.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
get him.
Right. And so I found the 3 baby bunnies, and I immediately was like, "Oh, what do I do?" Right. So I took them out and I put them in a shoebox. And I was like, I don't know if this is the right thing to do. Like, let me look it up. So I Googled, like, what do you do when you find, baby bunnies in your yard? And sure enough, there are a lot of articles on it. I mean, you can find anything on the internet, apparently.
everything.
So I read an article and they said, you know what? The best thing to do is to leave them because the mother will come back
Yeah.
to check on them and feed them and whatever. So yeah, don't take them out. Don't do anything like that. Just cover them up with, some grass or whatever and keep them safe,
Yeah.
safe as best as you can, and just leave them alone. So that's what I did. They're out there right now. I got a little enclosure around them so they can't get, picked up
Birds.
by a hawk or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then at night, I take the enclosure away so the mother can get there and do what she needs to do with her baby. So
Oh,
it's
that's
kinda
sweet.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
cute.
3 baby bunnies.
It's yeah,
In a nest. Who'd have damn knew?
yeah, right.
We didn't know.
I thought Bugs lived in a hole. That's what I'm thinking. Bugs had a cool ass apartment in that hole.
Yeah.
He used to pop his head at the top. What's up, Doc?
That was like Tom and Jerry when we were growing up. The mouse had his whole little
Yeah.
setup
Yeah.
in the
Had
wall.
a cool
I was like,
apartment.
oh, he had a
Yeah.
little bed and everything.
I was looking through the rat holes in my parents' house. I was, what's going on in there? Just joking. We have rats. Bad.
Only roaches.
Yeah. I was looking. What's going on in here?
Oh my god! I remember this one apartment we
I
lived
got little
in.
tiny chairs. Go ahead.
I used to get up in the middle of the night to get a drink from the fridge. So you would turn on the light, and then roaches would just fly out everywhere.
Lord.
And I was like, ah! It was crazy. But
Traumatizing.
trauma, childhood trauma.
I've experienced that growing up as well. I mean,
In the city of Chicago,
I was in
roaches
Brooklyn.
were
Oh, yeah. Y'all are from
roaches
some
were a
tight spaces.
thing.
yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
Okay. Rats in Brooklyn.
I'm glad we're all past that now, though.
Yes, indeed.
We're in better places in our lives. Oh, yeah. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. You can catch all of our episodes on YouTube and Spotify at Better Gents Podcast, and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Better Gents Pod. Thank you and take care.